Welcome to Joystick. I am so excited to bring to you this lead code problem that goes by the title Counting Bits. Counting bits is one of those problems that you should learn to solve as a beginner, and if you are already past the beginner's phase, then this problem will brush up your basics. Let's check out what the problem has to say. You are given an integer n. So you need to create an array of length n plus 1. Suppose n is 4, then you need to create an array of length 5. Now each cell of this array that you are going to create must contain the number of ones that appear in the binary representation of its index. So if the index is 2, then there is the binary representation in front of it, which is 1 0. Now how many ones appear in the binary representation of 2? Just 1. So the array should contain the value 1 at index 2. Likewise, if the index is 3, then the binary representation of 3 is 1 1. How many ones appear in the binary representation of 3? 2. So the array should contain the value 2 at index 3. You will learn how to solve this problem using dynamic programming. Before we begin solving the problem, we are also going to work on the intuition part. However, before all that, I want you to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, as that way you won't miss out on any of my videos that I release in the future. So let's begin solving the problem now. To solve this problem, we'll have to open it up first. Observe this list on the screen. This list contains the binary representation of the numbers from 1 to 5. If you observe it carefully, this list gives a hint. Check the number of ones in the binary representation of 4. The number of ones is 1. You agree, right? Now, this is equal to the number of ones in the binary representation of 2. What is the relationship between 4 and 2? We know that when we divide 4 by 2, we get 2. Let's move ahead on this observation by checking the number of ones in the binary representation of 5. The number of ones is 2. Applying the same theory, we divide 5 by 2 and the quotient we get is 2. But here the number of ones is 1, which is 1 less than the number of ones in the binary representation of 5. So can it be possible that when an index is even, then the number of ones in its binary representation is equal to the number of ones in the binary representation of the number we get by dividing that index by 2? And when an index is odd, then the number of ones in its binary representation is equal to plus 1 the number of ones in the binary representation of the number we get by dividing that index by 2. Let's do that for a couple of more numbers to check the authenticity of our theory. I add 6 here, and in front of it I write its binary representation, which is 110. Dividing 6 by 2, we get 3. Check the number of ones in both. They are equal. Let me add 7 here and write its binary representation, which is 111. Now dividing 7 by 2, we get 3. And see that the number of ones in the binary representation of 7 is exactly plus 1 the number of ones in the binary representation of 3. So our theory is yielding correct results. During the days of engineering physics, my professor told me that when you need to find out what the binary representation of the question will be, when you divide a number by 2, simply shift the number to the right by 1 digit. That principle I applied here. Now, since the binary representation of all the even numbers ends with 0, hence the number of ones is the same for the number and its quotient that comes when that number is divided by 2, while the binary of the odd numbers ends with 1. By shifting it to the right by one digit eliminates that 1, hence the number of ones differs by 1 between the number and its resultant quotient when divided by 2. Based on this theory, let's quickly fill the array when n is 7. Now let's quickly fill the array when n is 7. So I'm going to start from this cell. What the value in this cell is going to be, it's going to be 0 because the binary representation of 0 is 0 and the number of ones in 0 is 0. Moving on to this cell, we have 1 over here. The binary representation of 1 is only 1, hence I'm going to put 1 as the number of ones here. Moving to 2, now we'll apply the principle that we discussed moments ago. So I'm going to divide 2 by 2. That is going to bring me over here. Since 2 is even, hence the number of ones in the binary representation of 2 will be equal to the number of ones in the binary representation of 1. So I will populate 1 in this cell. Let's move to 3. I am going to divide 3 by 2. That is again going to bring me here because the quotient will be 1 obviously. Since 3 is odd, hence the number of ones in the binary representation of 3 will be plus 1, the number of ones in the binary representation of 1. So I am going to populate 2 over here. You can match the number of ones with the list that we discussed moments ago. We move to 4. So dividing 4 by 2 is going to bring me over here because 2 will be the quotient. Here the number of ones is 1. So that will get populated in this cell. That means the number of ones in the binary representation of 4 will be 1 only. Moving to 5, we divide 5 by 2. That is going to take us here. Here the number of ones is 1. So the number of ones in the binary representation of 5 going by the principle that we discussed will be 2. 1 plus this value over here. Let's calculate the number of ones in the binary representation of 6. So 6 divided by 2 is going to give the quotient as 3. So we check the number of ones populated in the cell at index 3 and this value is going to be populated as it is in the cell at index 6. So the number of ones in the binary representation of 6 will be 2. Right here, that matches. We move to 7 now. 7 divided by 2 is going to take me here again at 3. The value over here is 2. So the number of ones in the binary representation of 7 will be 2 plus 1. That will give me 3. So we have generated the array, each cell of which contains the number of ones available in the binary representation of the index it represents. So we have got our final array, each cell of which contains the number of ones available in the binary representation of its corresponding index. You will find the GitHub link to the Java code of this problem in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed watching this problem of counting bits from LeetCode. If you have any doubts, you are welcome to put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer them within 24 hours. Do let me know how to find this video. I look so much forward to help you with programming and algorithms. Thank you and take very good care of yourself.